DJ PLAYBOY.
Life's good. Just been hustling and grinding, and let's get right into it, man. Straight to Plicker's spotlight story. May not be the biggest story of the week, globally, in traditional media, but you know what I mean. In my world, it's something that I want to shine some light on, and this one brought up a difference, a juxtaposition, what have you, between relationship goals, and we saw it brought up with Keke Palmer, right? Shout out to Keke Palmer. Went out to go see a guy, Usher. Believe his residency in Vegas. Everybody's been making that little destination trip, going out there and checking out. Recently had a kid. Shout out to Keke, congratulations. I went out to this residency in Vegas, and wanted to wear an outfit that when women have a baby, they gotta snap back. They gotta show you that I'm back to where I was at before. You know what I mean? I got personal trainer money, I got dietitian money, I got all that. You know what I mean? And she did. She wore a nice sheer dress with a black bodysuit underneath it, and looked very impressive, if I do say so myself. And the video started circulating on social media. Usher is singing to Keke Palmer. And just that look that Usher has, man, when Keke turns around and show the cheeks, I could see why it would make a brother emotional if you're dating Keke Palmer, if you have a kid with Keke Palmer, if you guys are an item, you know what I mean? And Keke Palmer's boyfriend, Darius Jackson, I want to make sure I get his name right, Darius Jackson, he hopped in the comments on the video. And let's see, his exact tweet was, "It's the outfit though. You a mom." Now once again, Darius is Keke Palmer's boyfriend. He is the father of her child. It's a tricky situation because we live in an era now where it's not as black as white as we try to make it. I'm from the 90s, y'all. I was born in 84, you know what I mean? But I came up in the 90s, and things were real cut and dry, you know what I mean? Like, literally in courtrooms, women were asked what they were wearing, in a sexual assault case and things like that. I don't think they pull that type of stuff anymore, but they just try to characterize people. You dress a certain way, now you're this. You look a certain way, you must be that. And in the age of social media, where women can get criticized for taking a picture, that might be a little bit of thirst trappy, but then also in the same breath get a pass and showing a bikini picture on the beach. You know what I mean? Just, hey, I'm on the beach. It's appropriate clothes for the beach. And I think once you feel like people have already seen you in your bikini, it's like anything more than that is fair game. And every boyfriend, husband, significant other might not feel the same for their woman that they're dating. And in this particular situation, Keke Palmer's boyfriend, Darius Jackson, got some backlash. Social media, hopped in there and the comments responded, "Don't date a baddie if you're going to be this insecure. Not you, jealous of your baby mother. You right, she's a mom, not a wife," in capital letters. And just he caused some backlash, but he felt he had to respond. Came back and said, "We live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want his wife and mother of his kids to showcase booty cheeks to please others, and he gets told how much of a hater he is. This is my family and my representation. I have standards and morals to what I believe. I rest my case." And I can't say I disagree. You know what I mean? It shows that he views his wife as a representation of him. He feels that his wife may be being overexposed at a public event, might be sending the wrong message out there, and it's not something that he wants to represent. And it's a trend you see going on. I can't remember who I seen on the red carpet recently, but they had the cheeks out. You know what I mean? They were showing them off. It's a style going on right now. You know what I mean? It's something that you see in fashion that's being more acceptable. So it's like, all right, well, can we view Keke Palmer as being overexposed if this is something that other women are doing anyway? It's something that you see just out here, like I said, on red carpets, on Instagram, on any social media site. So something that we want to definitely allow women to still have that freedom to, wear the outfits they want to wear and not be characterized in a sort of way that we're gonna call them hoes. You know what I mean? Like Gabrielle Union. That's what I was thinking of. Showed off a dress that had the cheeks out. You know what I mean? It's but it's like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? If it's done in a classy way, if it's done in a way that it could be called deemed fashionable, then we gotta let it pass. And not every boyfriend is cool like Dwayne Wade. You know what I mean? Some, in this particular case, Keke Palmer's significant other ain't with the shits. He ain't like that. And I can't say I'm mad at him for it. I can't say I disagree, but you also, it comes with the territory. Now you're dating a woman in the public light. You know what I mean? She's out. She's young. Also not married, which is so, some people wanted to bring up, like, how you coming at her, but you're not married to her. But I feel he's allowed to feel the way he feels, and I don't necessarily think that he should be dragged for it. Now, on the other end of this, influencers, podcasters, social media, porn stars, Adam22 and Lena the Plug. If you're not familiar with who they are, Adam22, I believe, is the host of the No Jumper podcast, and him and Lena, they're together. They were dating for a while. I believe they're married now. They host the podcast Plug Talk, where they will interview, porn stars. And sometimes, after the interview, either Adam22, would have sex with the young lady that they're interviewing, or both. Lena the Plug and Adam will have threesomes. Lena, took a little break from the game. She had a kid, and definitely was, doing her work with Adam. Decided that she wanted to do a sex scene with someone else, something that her fans, I guess, were requesting, and did it with porn star Jason Luv. Now Lena the Plug, I'm familiar with her work. I checked out some of it this morning, actually, for research purposes only, trust me. But she's a baddie. I'm not mad at it at all. You know what I mean? And I get why she makes money doing that, because she can. It is something that, I've heard she made a lot of money during the pandemic. She's a popular porn star. She's very attractive. Jason Luv, I'm not too familiar with his work, but I am familiar with the category of blacks. You know what I mean? Where you get like a white girl, or, a Spanish girl, or, Indian, whatever background. Typically not black girls, though. And have them have sex with a gentleman from the BBC category, which stands for... you could Google it if you don't know what it means. You know what I mean? But this was one of those scenes. It was also, news because Lena's married. She's married to Adam22. They usually do their scenes together, although, he has sex with the other females. Lena doesn't typically have sex with other male porn stars. So this was something her fans requested. She knew that it would cause a big stir, and they put it out there. They put it out. Adam knew, I think, ahead of time how the internet would react to him, to this particular scenario. He knew he'd get clowned, and embraced it. Did an interview talking about his feelings on it. Had Lena the Plug on No Jumper, which I don't even remember ever seeing Lena the Plug on No Jumper before. I mostly see it through clips, but they know to capitalize off the moment. And instead of trying to fight being clowned or fight the court of public opinion, he embraced it, and I sure in more than one ways profited off of it. So I can't knock it. It's not necessarily what I would want from my relationship. Adam's, I think, successful enough to know that in what he does, you're not going to shame him. And people talking about him, whether in a negative or positive light, is great for his brand. I brought Adam22 and Lena the Plug up to my homies, and they didn't know who the hell these people were, but they were interested in the story because it was salacious. It was, and then I guess once they looked into it a little more, got really interested in it. And I'm sure a lot of people have been Googling Lena the Plug, Adam22, searching. I'm sure her Pornhub numbers are up. I'm sure she's doing quite well despite people trying to clown Adam22. So you really see two different ends of the spectrum where Adam, he's being called a cuck, he's being called a simp. But at the end of the day, he's profiting off of his wife having sex on camera with somebody else. Whereas a Darius Jackson, who's dating a woman in the spotlight, he's got to realize, certain things he could have pulled Keke aside for that. He didn't have to tweet about it and then put it on the court of public opinion. Because for what? There's still something between you and your girl. You know what I mean? You're not gonna win. You're not gonna have everybody hop. It's Keke Palmer, first of all, dude. They they love Keke Palmer online. Ain't nobody gonna hop on your team to hate on Keke Palmer just because of her outfit. Ladies, I see it in the supermarket, man. I see it everywhere I go. I know the trend is having your cheeks out. You know what I mean? I remember back in the day, you see like a skit on Instagram where, you know, a girl would be bent over or she'd be, you know, overly revealed, and you'd be like, that don't happen in real life. You know, now you see those skits, you'd be like, I just came from Walmart and seen a chick with the cheeks out like that. Like, just be aware of what you're doing. You know what I mean? And the attention that it attracts. And although things might be fashionable, you know, take a second and talk to your significant other, you know what I mean, before you put him out there like that and put him in a scenario, because he might not want his homeboys or people online to see you in that certain way. Now, I'm not saying let that deter what you're going to do, but at least have the conversation to let it know, hey, I hear you, but I feel like this, or hey, I hear you, and I'm going to move like that, you know what I mean? Because what's the point of being in a relationship if y'all can't, you know what I mean, have them type of conversations?